Welcome back, everybody. Hope everyone's doing okay. It's Tony back once again with another fucking collection overview. Yes, another one. I thought that I'd start to have a look at a sort of smaller labels, more like sort of the smaller independent company. You know what I mean? We've had a look at Eureka and Kino and people like that, Arrow Video, but within the UK, there's a couple of smaller companies that do an excellent job. Now, I'm not saying they're going to rival any of the big people. They're not going to rival 88 or Arrow or anybody like that. But what they do for what the price of the product actually is, I don't think these companies get enough praise for. And one of the one I'd start to have a look at over these next couple of videos, because it'll probably go into 2 videos this. I haven't got a massive amount by this company, but the ones I have got are very, very good titles that this company put out. And the company is a British company called Final Cut Entertainment. Now, you're probably able to pick these up in the US, possibly in Europe as well as, I'm not 100% sure. But like I say, here within the UK, these guys do a sterling job, really. There's never sort of a great deal on these. They're normally sort of bare bones. So normally it is just the film, unless they've done sort of like a special edition run or something like that. But what you pay for and what you actually get is very good. You know what I mean? These aren't expensive at all. There's some really nice titles throughout the back catalogue. And it's a shame, really, that I don't think I've seen much on YouTube about them. So I thought I would have a look at what I've got in my collection up to now. These guys were formed in around 2015, maybe the end of 2014, something like that. They came out, and initially they really just started with Hammer horror titles and classic 60s, early 70s horror. They did a lot of it, and a lot of it came to DVD, and then they started to put stuff out on Blu-ray, and then they started sort of doing combo releases. And what they released within the sort of Hammer franchise, they released some good Hammer titles. That seems to have dried up a little bit now, and they seem to be concentrating on other things, sort of like, I would say they were the films that they really concentrate on now are sort of like cult classics, but cult classics that maybe are only just sort of breaking out into that sort of area. The good titles, you know what I mean? The titles that people will like, the titles that people will know. But no one else seems to have picked them up with inside the UK. So Final Cut do a good job, and they do release some decent stuff. So like I said, initially they were releasing Hammer titles. They've got a numerous amount of sort of vintage horror stuff out, and then like I said, they started pushing through into other areas, and it's the other areas really that I've picked up on. I own a lot of Hammer films, but I've tended to stay with another company to pick those Hammer titles up. So what I have got with these guys is a nice little collection of films that I've always enjoyed, I've always liked, in some cases I love, and I mean, I still need to add a few titles to this collection. I won't be going everything. If you know me and if you watched other videos on the way I collect, I ain't a completionist, I ain't a purist. I will only collect what I like and what I enjoy, and this sort of reflects in this label, definitely. So the first title we will have a look at is a British, I would say it's a supernatural kind of film. I wouldn't say it's horror, I wouldn't say it's thriller. You're sort of down the lines of it being sort of like a supernatural thriller, a little bit horror, not much, but nevertheless it's a pretty decent watch if you've never seen it, and it's Long Time Dead. I think this film's from about 2004, something like that. I remember watching this on Sky when it first came out, and me and my wife enjoyed it at the time. And when these guys put it out, I hadn't seen this film until since watching it on Sky until these guys put it out, and I picked a copy up, and it still holds up. It's still a decent little watch. This was sort of like the who's who of British TV and soap star acting at the time. And when you first saw the sort of line of characters, you're thinking, of actors, sorry, you're thinking, well, I don't really know, it might not hold up, and it does. It's entertaining. And basically, it's about a group of college kids, university kids, on campus, and they start messing with a Ouija board, and it releases some kind of like demonic spirit that sort of starts killing these group of friends one by one. Again, if you've never seen it, it's definitely worth a watch. It is definitely worth a watch. It is, again, a bare bones release. It's just the film and nothing else. So it's 93 minutes long. It's 1080p HD. It's 16:9. It's region B locked. That's the one thing you will find with these. They're all region B locked. Again, there's nothing to really write home about on the insides neither, unless you've got some of the special collector's editions of these, and there are a few. You know what I mean? There aren't many, but there are a few collector's editions. But this one, Long Time Dead. Now, everybody in the community, everybody that's into collecting physical media, and anybody who's a Stallone fan knows this film is a bit of a joke. It's you know what I mean. It's one of those films that everybody always has got to be seen. Stop a mum will shoot. Yeah, I sort of feel the same way about it, but I still enjoy it at the same time. It is a bit of a mess. It's all over the show. I think it was Stallone's answer to Schwarzenegger doing some of the comedy stuff he was doing at the time. I think Stallone probably got hoodwinked into doing this film. Estelle Getty is really good in it, to be honest. It is fun. I have always enjoyed it. Yes, it is crap. Everyone knows it's crap. But I still get something out of it. A Final Cut did a nice little release of it here in the UK. Again, just a straight up bare bones release. Nothing on it. Just the film. 83 minutes long. 1080p, 16:9 aspect ratio. There's nothing there that'll set the world alight. Again, there's the inside. This guy is exactly the same as the cover art. What I will say with Final Cut is, I think initially the Amaray cases started out, I think, blue, and then on some releases they went black, which the black cases look great on these, and then some releases got a clear case, and then they went back to blue. They was all over the show. So putting these together to have them looking sort of uniformed on a shelf, they were a bit of a mess. So what I decided to do was take the black cases away, put everything on my second sight stuff into the black cases, and then I just ordered a load of clear cases to put these. And I think these Final Cut releases work quite well in the clear case. So what you'll take notice of, there's an old couple that I've got lying around here that's still in blue cases, but I am slowly changing them over to clear, and they do look good for it. So yeah, that is Stop or My Mum Will Shoot. So for any of you guys that are still watching and watch some of my other videos or see any of the live streams that I do with any of the other guys, you'll know my love for the whole thing of the video nasties genre and the era of video nasties. And when this one popped up, it's one that I had to grab, and it is Visiting Hours from 1982. Not the best film you'll ever watch, but it's nice that we got a full uncut version from Final Cut. This initially was on the DPP ban list, as a video nasty, but it was an unprosecuted title. So it did get a release, but no one got prosecuted over the actual release or distribution of this film. Again, it's not one of the more standout films you'll ever see off that DPP list. There are better films on there, but it's a nice version that Final Cut decided to put out. I'm 100% sure that Scream Factory did this version in the US. I'm probably right in saying that this is the same transfer as that Scream Factory version, but this is the first one, and possibly the only one, I think, in my collection, looking at it, that's a special edition. So it's dual format, it's a DVD Blu-ray combo. One of the only titles, I think, here, there may be another one or two, that's got any kind of special features on it. So there's an interview with the director, interview with the producer, interview with actresses, interview with the writer. There's a stills gallery, and it's one of the only titles that's got reverse artwork. I don't think any of the other ones in this range that I've got has got reverse art, so it's nice to see that they did something there. Again, it is a DVD Blu-ray combo. I did take the DVD out, so the DVD is there. That's the alternative artwork as well on the DVD. Again, if you've never seen Visiting Hours, it's a sort of psychological slasher that's set in a hospital. Again, decent little film. I enjoy it. It's nice, and it was nice that they released one off the DPP ban list. That's Visiting Hours. Now, as far as Western films go, the whole Young Guns series for me is an absolute cheese fest, but they're still entertaining. There's still some good value to be had out of both films, and if you look at that sort of cast list, it was mind-blowing at the time, really, to see Emilio Estevez, Keith Sutherland, Lou Dam Phillips, Christian Slater, and William Peterson, all in one film. Brilliant, really. If you're a purist of the whole Western genre, these are probably not up your alley in any way, shape, or form. But if you're sort of child of the 80s and 90s that I am, and you're into a bit of a cheese fest, then these will probably do it for you. Again, Young Guns 2 is just as entertaining as the first one. Again, Final Cut did a nice little release with this. Again, it is just bare bones. There's nothing on this, it's just the film. So 103 minutes in 1080, 235:1 aspect ratio, and again, nothing on the inside. The cut the on the disc is the same as the cover art. Newish, I think it's a newish title from this. Probably 2 or 3 titles back, this one now. But a good release nevertheless. That's Young Guns 2. So to finish off part 1 of my Final Cut Entertainment overview of what's in my collection, we finish on one of my favourite Tobe Hooper films. Again, we did a live stream, a Tobe Hooper live stream, a good few months back now, with a few of the guys I normally stream with. And if you'd watched that stream, or if you've not watched that stream, I'll drop a little link down below and you can go and check that out. You'll know that this is one of my favourite Tobe Hooper films. I've loved this since being a kid. It's sort of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but like a child-friendly version is probably the only way I can describe it. Really entertaining, really over the top. The last 20 minutes of this film are batshit crazy. Good practical effects. It's one that I go back to on a regular basis. Really, really good film. If you want a copy of this in the UK now, this is out of print. This goes for fucking stupid money. Second hand, anywhere now, sort of between like £30–35 for a copy on this now. If you can find a copy for less, you're doing extremely well, and I would suggest grabbing it. It is a good all-round film. Another one that has got some special features on it, but wasn't classed as a special edition for some reason. So special features on it. There's a career in canon with Tobe Hooper. So there's an interview with Tobe Hooper on there about the 80s films, the films that he did in the 80s with Canon. Mission to Mars, special effects with Tobe Hooper's Invasion from Mars. Red Planet Recollection, remembering invaders from Mars. Creating the concept, and Invaders from Mars concept presentation. So there's a real good selection of special features on this one. If you've never seen this film before, I suggest, you know what I mean, if you can get it on streaming somewhere before throwing the money out, watch it. Definitely watch it. It's a really, really entertaining film, and really is one of my favourites from back in the day. Yeah, so we're going to finish on that one, Invaders from Mars. Again, if you've never checked me out before, and this is the first video you've come across because you've seen the Final Cut Entertainment thumbnail, or you've seen the title of the video, please go and check out some of the other stuff I do. If you pretty much like this video, you'll pretty much like the rest of it that's on my channel. Please give this video a like and a little bit of a share, and if you do like the stuff, please consider subscribing. It means a lot. Numbers are racking up slowly, but I could always do with more. So check out for part 2 coming soon. Take care, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.